Hey YouTube tribe, I've been swimming. I'm filled with the goodness of the sun and the balance of the water. I'm just quickly loading my washing machine and then we are gonna go cook and chat. That's my favorite YouTube stream moment because it stays on my page. Like on Twitch I'm streaming like without a big agenda, but like if it stays on my page, I might as well just use it for conversation as well as recipe. And I've actually shared what I make already, but I don't know if I made that. I made that for Twitch. I will be doing that for YouTube today. And I have just ordered little crystals and pearls for a really cool self-made little egg little wrist necklace, a little armband, and it's just beautiful crystal made and I'm very satisfied with making my own little arm and neck what's the name, armband, just a little chain for the arm. So I'm so relaxed and I'm very tired still because my body went through a lot with the surgery last year, but I'm definitely gonna concentrate for you guys right now. And I'm making cucumber salad with potato, sour cream, and salt and garlic. And you can add herbs if you want to. I don't do that now, but you could, like, if you want to make something fancy, you could add basil, fresh basil, or like chives. Always chives good. I might add a white garlic that I've tried because it tastes very good, but it's not that intense anymore. Like it's like really losing lots of intense flavor, and I have not mixed it. For example, I did not mix my white garlic salt, even though the flavor can intensify if it is mixed in together. But I was a little bit unsure, is it salt or plain? I decided to keep the herbs plain. And so I will be overdosing it properly, but I'm just gonna add a little bit of white garlic probably today. I feel like definitely using more herbs because I read all about it. I should just really start using it more. And I'm a little bit lazy with that. I am like that. Also, I will be having my little green powder that I use normally for my green smoothie, but let's go. That's the brand Whiter Care Amazon. Very lovely, very big variety of herbs and even like fruits and lots of flavor and taste. And just adding this with a little bit of water, and has lovely flavor. And I get lots of herbs in, so because I'm not making a smoothie today. I'm chill, I'm lazy, it's summer, I'm not perfect every day, so that's good. And I'm just gonna be boiling my... I don't have a potato now. I don't have potatoes. I don't have potatoes. I think my dad might be coming with potatoes soon. So I will be cooking later, but we are gonna chat, guys. I might be playing shortly a crystal ball because I feel it today. I feel it. And I'm just gonna make, you just do cucumbers, slice that, add potato. I do 1 cucumber, 2 or 3 potatoes, depends on how hungry I am. Sour cream, salt and garlic to your liking. Mix it. It is very lovely. And then I currently do put chicken slices on top with a nice spice, and that's what I like currently. And it's a nice summer food, and just I have homemade French style white bread. So I'm making a coffee, and then I will stream a little bit longer and just chat without the quick time. I do actually make extraction oils, and this is with clove, and I put water in there, and it's such a nice cleansing smell for the kitchen. I'm so grateful for summer. I will feel the most alive. During summer is my favorite season. I have a little bit of a sunburn, but it's not very bad. I just used 30 SPF. I'm gonna probably do 50 tomorrow, just in case. Like, except if it's raining, but we're gonna see. The fresh air is really what I need right now. I feel that for me. And I'm just gonna play a little bit of Crystal Bowl. I like to record it because I think it looks nicer and seeing it. If I touch it like this, I'm gonna a little bit tune it differently than I want to. This is for the throat chakra. Like, not the crystal bowl has this specific frequency that they love to use for working with and around the throat chakra. You can actually buy crystal bowls a lot connected to chakras. Because lots of people like to have 7 bowls for every chakra, all the chakras. But you can get different notes too, or different frequencies. I really like the sound of the crystal ball. It's like very high frequent, and it's like no other instrument. Like, it does not remind me. I have the same with gongs. They are also just for me sacred sound, because I know, you know it from yoga, and there's really no other instrument that I know. I have a little harp that is for me also classical, relaxing music, and also quite old instrument too, and very well spread, you know. Just needs the wood body and then a few strings. It's not too hard to make. There are more hard instruments that you could buy. And the crystal bowls that are there are kind of new, I guess. I've not googled it. I've not known them when I was 20. I've never heard about them, and I was into those things, so I would probably have kind of a little bit got to know them. And they have such a fine-tuned sound. But I actually, most days, I love my root chakra crystal ball, which is the biggest one that I have, the most, because of the deep sound. I think it is very cleansing and grounding, and I love those for inspiration and meditation, these higher sounds. That's what I like. And like, I will probably not buy more than one more, because I feel saturated. Like, I have 4 instruments that kind of sound a little bit similar, have good effect on the room. Like, this has a frequency, just like boxes, you know, they have big vibration, and drum too, very strong. And I just love this. Is like a very nice, also very for the brain. I think it has a good stimuli, and I want to be getting a few other relaxing instruments too, because I've not known this. When I started the sound healing course, I thought I'm also gonna get 7 of those crystal bowls, and I'm definitely gonna use all of the potency. And then I found that for me, I love mixing. I love mixing sounds. The crystal ball is when I'm just mildly playing it, the sound keeps going. So in the meantime, I could just use another instrument and then quickly add the sound again. So I can like use that for a little bit more balance, creativity, inspiration, as well as sometimes little like there's this rainmaker, and they are so pretty. Like they are very artful and beautiful. And because I am recording it, and also because I'm very a visual person, I really like getting creative looking instruments. And like I've got a normal little harp, and then I've just painted it and put sticker on it and made it my own. Because I could not get the one that I wanted without lots of shipping, and so I saved myself even a little money and spent a little creative time, and now I have this little harp that keeps me company. And um, I like creative. Like for me, crystal balls are so new. They are very beautiful to me, and they can buy them in color. There are beautiful ones in glass. I really want one more in with glass. They have more clear sound, and they have like sometimes they are like ombre style with colors and very flowy sound that I really am inspired from these instruments and from art overall. So that's who I am. I flow with creative input, and like I'm a maker and I'm a visionary. I'm not so much a dreamer actually. So like I'm not wanting to get lost in the sound but with the same sound. I love a little bit of more stimuli. You know, I love very meditative meditation music in private. Personally, I think the sound that I want to be making and that I think is balancing is a little bit more creative. So it is also good because it is like a little unique. So if people want a rainmaker sometimes, which is very like I have this little ocean drum, like it's just a cheap one. I just tried it for me, and I never use that actually for sounds and sound bars, but it is very relaxing. This is not such a good one, but it's still very calming. And for me, it is, yeah, it is a little bit of ocean drum style, rain. I hear rain with it more, and the rushing of lots of water. Like it's not really waterfall intensity, but definitely water connection. And that's very favorite. Like my sound healing teacher, she said people really like this drum, and I've never had it. So I thought, wow, great. I maybe want a drum, but I don't love drumming. I love the more softer and more musicfulness. But I could just also use that as a little drum if I wanted to. No. There are lots of people who accompany healing song with little drumming. Like that's not a drum, but you know. And it was just 20 euros, so. But I've used it a few times. I got to know it, and I know that I personally don't need a drum, but I would definitely want a rainmaker, a rain stick, and I will probably be using more plain, simple wood design, not too much carving, and not European, because I don't like the too tropical art. I love that in a spa or in a hotel or in a movie, but personally in my home I love like dried flowers and like nature connection. I love though this artful, colorful Reiki art. That's something that I personally like. But I make, for example, I make lotus, and then I kind of modernize it by with the color and then nail polish, and like I feel at home in my own favorite looks. I don't feel at home with too much ancient symbolism. Like I resonate, for example, with the cross for like my ancestor altar, because that is a, for me it's not an old symbol. It has been in my school rooms, and like I also have a little cross with colors that I wear if I need to support, especially around grief. So I use that as a symbol for strengthening and protection in a way by faith and religion, lived religion. And I love nature symbolisms, and I would probably never get an original Buddha statue or anything, because I bought it as decoration, for example, and I never really liked it. It just got a very cute Buddha, white. It was never right in my home. It did never really resonate. And I did have a room filled with lots of fair trade pictures and cards and inspiration. But I think it was just grounding me a little bit into more connection to my kitchen experience and to Britain for some reason. Because that my colleagues were not from, they were Indian, South African, and all of that. So and it did take me far though. I don't know, I think maybe, yeah. I love just, I don't know, comfy, more like northern design is something that I feel at home, and like clean, not too old school, even though I love secondhand things. But I'm not overcrowding with those. They're just like, they catch the eye, but they are not they're the flat, if you know what I mean. Like if I buy things, like I lived in flats where like they already had furniture, which was good and lovely. And I also did find that red is for me a very strong color. Like I've not known that, but red is a very strong color for me. It's with decoration, find it very warming, and I love red couches and all, or like red plates. And it's a color that I am not seeing anymore in a room. Like it's not. Sometimes there are colors that crowd a room for me. Like a very high green color can be very crowding for me. It kind of, but like I just always had the color around me probably. So I kind of resonate with that color as home decoration. But for example, I do not need to like it to wear the color a lot. Because I love little brighter red colors for clothing. And and that's just, I have my very own liking, and I've found that sometimes I did buy things that I thought I would be liking, and then I just had it. Like that's just that new dress that you're getting that you don't know that you will never be wearing. Like it's not the thing that you think you need to wear and you get it. It's the thing that looks really cool on other people, but you don't look great in it, or you don't think you look, or it's not your style, or kind of don't love it in the end. And I think it's the same with decoration, and I think it can be the same with instruments. Like I had this little ocean drum, just the quality, I did not really like it, but a proper good nice rainmaker, I would probably like that better. And I don't like drums because they are too hard for me as healing instrument. I don't resonate with it. And something else that I did learn about me is that I really like dried flowers in decoration. Like that's one of my favorite candle holders, and I had no idea that I will like that much. I just collected on the countryside lots of flowers and all, and then I kind of started seeing all the beautiful white flower patterns, and I liked it. That's why I love getting cheap instruments for just learning about the instrument. And then I did learn, I don't want a drum, but I love the rain sound that I'm hearing with this little drum. I stopped using because the quality was not that nice. I could have much nicer quality on YouTube, for example. And then, yeah, for a while I did like metal sounds, like metallic ones, like this Sonic Energy little handpan style. Just a very tiny one, and I still like it. But I think it is fun for meditation as a background for affirmation. It's a very pure and clean sound. It's not very pricey. Just a little, I don't know, wake up point behind, like background music. But I like my crystal bowls much better. So I thought I will be getting a proper nice hand pan. I might probably postpone it for later because there are other instruments, even like little and not so cheap instruments, that calm my heart a little more. Or like I think the glass sound and the wood sound of the rain falling onto the wood and all, maybe that's a little bit more calling me into groundedness. And whereas this metal sound reminds me of yogic music and song, and I kinda don't feel at home there. So I would rather like use these old wooden sounds in between because I find it very grounding. And it's actually just decoration that I got, but I've not used it a lot. But I know I like wood sound. I could get more wood sticks and different sounds, and there's lots out there. And I just, yeah, I did find it out about myself as the personality of a sound healer, that I don't just love the high frequent sound for a long time. I love grounding that into well-known sounds, like harp is a well-known sound, or like the rainmaker is something that most people know for a really long time. And I have a little kalimba which I love a lot. I don't know about you guys, but I really like the effortless little harmony that it brings, and it does not take long to learn it. It's like so playful and cheerful, and very great for healing songs. So I don't know, it wakes me up. I like that song. So that's what I have learned. But for example, this is also metal, but it does not sound not familiar. So like high, beautiful, pure tone, just percussion from a music store. Sound sticks is I think what they sometimes they have crystals for that. So I'm more interested in like this with crystals, for example. What does it sound like? Do I like it? Is it accompanying my sound crystal bowls, but a little bit grounding it more for me? So I'm already in the. I'm not only for a sound bath. I'm already a little bit making music with it, but it's a slow process because I'm not rushing, and I don't need to have full book of homemade songs in the end of the year. But I just enjoy these sounds more. And also, it is so true that if you like meditation and music, you can use any instrument for like sounding and meditation and accompanying and adding a little music. is very relaxing. The brain has good resonance with music. So yeah, that's what but I know other people that also use lots of music tools for a sound bath, you know. But I've not planned it this way. I've been thinking I will get 7 of the crystal bowls and then I'm gonna play the chakra sounds, and then 7 tunes will like be strongly healing and shifting energy. But I had one, and I think I personally would have had enough with one deep, high, high frequent healing sound. But then with the sound bath, it is indeed a little relaxing concert in a way, just not big but small. Um, I found that I kind of have a language in music that I've not really recognized earlier. I just a little bit sang sometimes my favorite songs and tunes, but I really felt the music calling me a little bit. So I have lots of fun researching instruments, and I have a very big Etsy list with like artist-made instruments that are very unique and exactly my liking. Like, yeah, I'm like that. I am really like that. If I can wait to find the thing that I really like. For example, I did not get a diffuser for quite a long time because I did not want this yogic design in my home. Even though for what I love from the yoga is indeed like colors, it's very colorful and bright. And I love meditation music, and I love the yoga class in the studio with that. But in my own home, I like it. I like a little bit more groundedness into my nature that surrounds and connects me. And European Alps, they are not that colorful. Like they are more green and brown, and that's the main colors. It's very simple. And I feel like that with the music too. Like, I don't know. I don't need the most fanciness in things. I prefer more the familiar. Even I got a lotus, but that's for me a flower. That is indeed nature. That's obviously we have beautiful gardens, for example. So that is still a home for me. And I did get a little chalice, for example, that did not look foreign or like old. Just got a clay made one from Etsy too, with white how is that called, shabby chic coloring, like not perfect glowing polished. It's also clay connection to the earth. I have not known that about myself. I just found that while I was processing and learning and liking my sound bath, and I did start very much with entertaining because of social media, and that's probably a little bit where the music came in too, because music can also be very entertaining and it's good for myself, a little bit more self-expression and practice. And also I like um, I love I can like make gratitude songs for harvest season, and I don't need to find other artists who express this what I'm feeling, that my music in my heart, you know. For what I can start creating my own little sound, but it's not gonna be. It will like I only feel like this with the healing song for me. I don't feel like I want to make a full concert with kind of, I don't know, country style music or anything, even though probably that's fun. um like I'm not going after other artists too. I'm just keeping it simple, keeping it familiar. I got a little for my harp. I got this little old Irish Celtic harp song book, so I learned like old ancient melodies that are used nowadays, Like I will not play medieval harp, for example. I don't feel at home in medieval times. You're not gonna find me resonating with this kind of music. That's not me. But I think like Celtic women, you know that, like they bring in this Celtic Irish music too in a very feminine, flowy way. So I'm a little bit inspired by this artist, but I will not become them. Like, but I just think, yeah, that looks good and like classic, and then the quality is great, and then so a little bit of old tunes and rhythms, and using those flowing into sound bath relaxation music. And then I think I'm gonna do one part without crystal balls, but always possible to add the crystal balls. That's what I am planning, so I can use that song during a sound bath as well as background for a video, or just singing in a song circle with or without crystal balls. Because if I do Reiki class, I'm not gonna do sound balls. Because I have different philosophy around both. The Reiki for me is not so much about the song; it's more about the words. And I'm a project manager. Like I've learned project management at uni, so I don't love intermixing projects. So I'm a little bit specific around that. You don't need to. You don't need to. Just my own personality, and the sound bath is for me cleansing and balancing, and the Reiki for me is inspirational and for endurance and an easy practice to start with spiritual routine. That's what I'm feeling with that. And then there are a few other projects, but that's my basis is Reiki and sound bath, the same. But I'm a little bit talking more about the Reiki because that is a mindset, and I do the sound without expectation. It's just for replenishment, harmony, balance, yourself. Like it's not meant to be experienced in a circle. Just obviously come group meditation is welcome, but I don't make you. It just it's you. It's your mat. It's your cushion. So whatever you like. And I'm also not sitting or laying down. It's just you do you, and you listen to yourself. Like that's definitely also what I always want to say is that um, you should not be too strict with spiritual routine. You just should keep going. Or like if you have psychologists who gives you a routine, don't be super strict around it. Just start a little and then go further. Or like if you do a dietarian and they give you a little routine, don't be super strict around it. Just let yourself grow into that and feel if you like it. Maybe you don't like it, and then tell them why. They might already have an idea how you can make it a little bit more effortless, because you don't need to push yourself, because you push yourself enough in this life. You push yourself onto your career path. You push yourself into school when you're young. You push yourself to be great in competition, or I don't know, whatever people push around. Or yeah, or other people push you too, and you push your buttons. You don't do that. You don't do that. You go slow with yourself. Listen, what is my inner voice telling me? Is this feeling right or wrong? Can I adjust? Can I learn? So I think we have lots of good tools and inspiration and knowledge and books and very good coaches and therapists and even healers out there in the world. But it's certainly not meant to be dogmatic. If it's not about your absolute health regimen, like if you're diabetic, obviously, please listen to your doctors. If you have heart insurance, please listen to your doctors. And if you have other medical conditions, obviously, that's most important. That I would even like put career and lots of other things below health. That's the most important. Like I would never say anything different because I'm also a trained health manager. So, but I would never say anything else like that. So, um, yeah. Sometimes it needs discipline, and you keep the energy for these important moments. You're not gonna do that around yoga. You can do the bodily routine, that's sports, and that's health. But you don't need to stay on a yogic inspired more philosophy style path if it pushes your buttons or if you don't have energy. You don't need to get up for sadhana every morning to be a good yogi. And I don't like teachers that would ever make you think like that, but if you have teachers that invite you to join, that give you little motivation, please, please follow. If you feel like just doing 21 days sadhana with a group online or in person, and you go if you want to. But if you don't feel like it, just stop. Just stop. It's this life is very crowded and busy. It's more crowded and busy than most of us knew, like 150 years ago, for example, or has been much slower. The rhythm of nature has been more important, and these days are so rushed. Don't you rush your day. It is your everyday that really is nourishing and replenishing, and it is um, it is definitely important that you have energy for yourself and for what you need to accomplish. You don't get into who is the best yogi, who is the most powerful Reiki healer. You don't get into I did more practices, sadhana, and challenges than anybody else that I know in my circle. This is not the right mindset. It's not the right mindset. You don't do that for that. You do it to find strength and balance and well-being with your body, mind, and soul. That is your, and then you can still strive for more empowerment, but not more, better than, or more than. Just don't, because it's also, you will also see that it's your crowd. If you start standing out, you might find yourself another crowd, and then you're still gonna find. So this is like a little urge that is like not unnatural, but it is not really fulfilling. Because if you become a yoga teacher, your crowd that you compete with, for example, is yoga teachers, and they are on a fully different level. They might have other practices. Somebody might be really good with back bends. You might be really good with handstand. Like, how is this competition possible? And you can still do it for likes on Facebook though. I will not stop you. If you want to do daily practice and extra to your everyday life, and you show up and you show people your great backbender, all, and people did that a lot in 2020s, 2010s. They shared so many postures and like more extreme postures, but I thought it was very inspirational for people. If their health is good with their big back bend, like I'm not like that. I don't like to overstretch because I think it's not balanced. For me, it's a little bit too pushy. I just love a more soft approach. I'm more like, I would be, if I would be a yoga teacher, I would be the yin yoga teacher that teaches you to relax, get into the posture, let your body help you, support you, like that. It does hold you, it does stretch for you, you relax a little deeper. That is typical yoga um, lesson. But like that is what I feel passionate about, just how my body supports me. That is something that I'm very grateful for, that I've seen in my life so many times, just like today. How I still have the energy after bad surgery, and like so long I've not really moved more in my house. I did not even do yoga because I felt so tired. And just today I've seen, wow, I have so much energy. I could like swim so long, because my body is not getting weaker, because I still have strong muscles and actual fitness, because I've rested well. Like, I really feel like I've rested on a very deep level in the last winter, because I've been so overwhelmed after my surgery, and the overwhelm was exactly the right signal to listen to. And then in winter I really had enough of the cold, so I get infrared light, which is warming on a deep level, you know. Just, I know it's not hot outside, but it's very nice, gives energy to the body, so I would call it little replenishing and warming more in the quality that I feel it. and and so I started working with that. For example, on that I got an extra heater to make up for that, so it was my body restoring back to balance and health by resting and telling me I don't need to do extra handstand pose to feel better. Or like I'm more a little bit about uh, sun salutation. Like, it's not very hard, it's not super tricky. It will not give you lots of likes on Instagram, but it's just what I feel already happy with, like regular sun salutation practice. But I've not done it because my body was requesting cozy and feeling held. And it was preparing to go through letting go of the surgery trauma. And I've not really had it the last surgery that I had, because I don't think I really released the trauma last time. And kind of on this path, on this journey on the countryside with more groundedness, because I've not been very stimulated. It is mostly, there's mostly a few people and nature surrounding me, so I feel myself more, like I have more connection to my body. And I kind of think my body resonated on a deep level to lots of embodiment practices that I did and shaking, so it has already the magic tools and learned this is what we can do. And then in a deep relaxation I really could let go of the trigger around the pain, and that gives me a little bit more strength. I think that's why the fitness in me is still great. So I don't feel like, because last time I felt like I need to restore my health and my fitness because I really felt like it crashed after the surgery, and then I did more Kundalini and I felt better and I had a stronger core, and I did not really push me because that's not what the teaching is about. That's what I love about it. And this time I really feel like I don't need to do lots of things, because I really, last summer I got around, I've been swimming, I've been a little bit e-biking, I walked enough, like I did immediately get into movement after the surgery, and I did not do that in the first round because I felt so vulnerable, because my arm was I had to cover it, and it also was my first ever that I ever broke something, and then I needed surgery. So it was quite much as an experience too. This time I was a little bit more experienced. And yeah, I really feel like because I've rested for all of autumn, all of winter, and because of the fever also in spring. So I did try to get more active in spring, and my body was like, no, zero energy. Off in the fever I went. And yeah, it was not bad for me, for my health. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I listened, I did not push myself. Like, if I have energy and if I feel like I need the extra movement, I should do that. And then I might overcome blocks and burdens, but you don't need to constantly be pushy around things that you want to be spiritual practice. Like, it's different with sports, because you might have sports goals that you really want to achieve, like a marathon, or like some people that I know they did Ironman, or like other people that have this level of fitness and they kind of crave a little bit more overcoming, and they're all about like learning how to make their body more athletic. They love the sport, they love the crowd, you know, they maybe work for competition, so it's the hobby. So that's a little bit different. That's what I think should be mindful around spiritual routines. And also with food, I feel that too. Don't be pushy. Maybe get help, ask a doctor, dietarians, get knowledgeable. There's so many good books about nutrition. Apothecaries, they have good advice, is their job. Also, you might not know. Um, they study that stuff at least 5 years, I think, and then they continue on all about medication and all the vitamins and all the tinctures, and they sometimes they are more knowledgeable than doctors, because doctor is there for you if you need extra support from medicine. But apothecaries, they can be super supportive, and um, with, for example, like more nice skin friendly cosmetics. They might give you their favorites, like you can go to different ones because they don't have their own experience and opinions and their favorite brands. So it's very fun. Apothecaries are a good place if you ever want to start with diet, supplements and all of that. um, ask at an apothecary, tell them what you think you lack or what you prefer, and also you will always have a nice quality, but it's not the most price see quality. I think, like from the supplements that I've seen, they were always very middle price, and then there are still like the extra boost supplements for the very motivated health style people, that you can still look up if you start getting knowledgeable. But um, I in the lockdown I needed a little boost for my immune system, and then the apothecary, the woman, she told me to get but I've never thought about it. Water, a flower cress with like horseradish capsules, because they must have been quite popular with people. They must have good um, feedback. And I've never thought of I would have got vitamin C or any other immune booster that, and it wasn't pricey. And I had this for like I think nearly 2 months, and I my body loves it. I just recently got it again. I really feel that it is like we people in my country, we eat that a lot. Horseradish, you can grow it in your garden. It gives you a very nice boost. It's very sharp if you make that fresh. It's not so nice every day, but if it's dried and with the capsules and the quality of the capsules too, they were great. They were great. I just got one from Amazon and they were also good, but this from the apothecary, that it did win for me. It did win for me. And yeah, also the apothecary, they are more knowledgeable than health food blogs if it's about vitality, if that's what you crave. Like also with medicine, they sometimes have people in my country save money, because if they, yeah, it just they give you options. Like there are medications from the one specific brand of pharma company, and then you can still get the same quality, the same medicine from a similar one, and they for medicine that is quite widespread, they have the brands in the house, or they can order it. So that's, yeah, I really think apothecaries are a good starter if you trying to support your body more with food, with diet, and also with supplements. It's a good place to start. If you are not into that thing, because I'm not totally into that, I love reading about it. I've never not read the health sector. Even when I was a little kid, I wanted to understand about these illnesses that I've heard about a lot with my grandma and her friends, you know. I tried to understand it a little bit more, and yeah, so I learned about typical supplements, like tinctures. This is a typical supplement that many people already like when I was younger. So acerola, that is a cherry or berry, I'm not 100%, but a particular probably would know. And then like the normal herbs in summer, obviously, that people are using. What I've always had in my home was also lots of raw food with salad. We have always had a fresh salad bowl on the table, so that was always a stable source of vitamins and good for the belly and digestion. And then I did not get vitamins because it was not, people did not take vitamins except if they were ill or if magnesium, if they had cramps. So most people started using it if they really had a weakness. I don't know say illness, but a weakness. And like for example, my grandma, my grandma, she always took supplements in the form of like I don't know health food things. And nowadays, like with Amazon, if you already know what your body likes, if you know what you need, is great. They have lots of options, a very okay price. Then you can still get something from special health food stores. And also, it's not always the price. With it is just like with like if it would be horseradish, a nice quality of horseradish, it's not super pricey. So if it is like pulverized, there's not much you can actually do. But like if it is like extract vitamins, for example, it is definitely worth investing. Like $4 for a multivitamin from the beauty store. It's cool because it is vitamins and it's certainly in Europe not good. But it probably you might not get out of it what you want, like boost for the immune system or maybe better nails. Like I was like that. I want better nails, and you get that with vitamins. That is the plus. Um, and um, what did I want to say? So um, uh, yeah, just don't take, don't interrogate, like don't interview that particular person, but they are very used to people asking them because it's a little bit part of the job. I heard that they also are supposed to give us shots now, so I'm not sure how this will be going. As I hope people will still find the quality of expertise during all these other medical processes, but I think they will manage. And also, if you resonate, get shots for the flu. Like, don't. I'm not only about alternative medicine. Like I did get help of medicine and I needed it and it did do wonders for me. So that's also typical apothecary person. Like they are not just selling you parsley and say you will never be ill in your life. They tell you though that parsley is also good for I don't know not only taste but also for probably digestion and like also lots of minerals, vitamins. Like yeah, they they the actual apothecary person was once really making the tinctures, the medicine, the elixirs. That's a long time ago. But still, apothecaries are filled with herbs and all this plant-based goodness that is so good if you have weaknesses and not illnesses, because the medication is not so much. I mean, there is medication, but yeah, most people will not treat a cold immediately with a strong medicine. They will just try probably also horseradish or whatever. Maybe in the food, like that's great. Also supplements or tinctures. I love not tasting my supplements. That's for me true. That I don't like the frequent same flavor of things that I don't 100% like, or they have more intense flavor. I don't like it. I just like I would not do powders. I would probably most do capsules. That's for me the best. But I have tinctures with vitamins that taste like berry juice. I can drink that any day because I love the flavor. So um, It's also the same with medicine. It is has no flavor. It's plain. You can always like that, even if you might be ill or I don't know, not feeling like eating food or appetite is still going down well. But what every book said that I've ever read about health is you need a balanced diet. So get your veggies in, move enough, don't forget about nature time, and also do your checkups. As a healthcare manager, that's my best advice. And also as a yogi, because I'm also supposed to eat well. That's also yoga. So if you eat your salad even though you did not want to and you don't know why, just give yourself a few yoga points, little stickers. We had that in elementary school. We got stickers for great homework and not too many failures. She gave us like little star stickers and all, and little affirmation, like just of satisfaction. Just great work, keep on going. So I did internally collect those because I didn't want to do the homework, and to this day I'm like that. I give myself little stickers. And if completed a goal, I will like, now I will have 5 years of continued Reiki practice, and I'm proud of myself, and it's part of my everyday life, and I did integrate it without pushing. And sometimes I don't feel like it, but I still keep going, and because I don't give in to the block, you know, it's not winning. I'm just living with yoga for too long, so I just keep breathing, and then the little mm, negativity around meditation is gone, and I will just take the time to sit down and listen or read another book that tells me more about energy healing, energy, because I feel like it's helping me. The routine is great, but I'm also somebody who strives to know more and learn better, but it's not like that for everybody, and people don't reflect on it. But also I also thinking about making my own little workbooks for little clients, and just a little bit of also guide a little guide through practices, a workbook so they can write into that. So um, I have a very practical approach about it, and I'm also making it about other people because I don't know why I would invest that much time into Reiki practice. It's also a little bit true for me with yoga. Um, if it's not 100% necessary for my alignment, I'm lazy. But like the yoga philosophy and mindset is not leaving my life because I don't do my asanas all the time. And I'm not mad about me because I know I need a little resistance sometimes too. That's not unhealthy. It's not unhealthy, and it's not making my life bad or anything. It is just bringing me a little bit unbalanced mind. Like, yeah, it does. And anything else I'm gonna say before I'm stopping the recording? Just for beginners, it's always nice to get a pro. You can also get apothecary magazines. There are out there. If you like that, just very beginner friendly, but also for experts, a little bit of specificness around it. You can watch on YouTube, maybe find somebody who resonates about supplements, herbalism, and always make sure they are authentic and they know what to talk about. Because yeah, not doctors, but just make sure they are not, yeah, they are not manipulative, because people are sometimes manipulative to sell more. You don't need that. And this in particular is probably not very much true about supplements because they mostly sell medication and all of that. But they still have a little bit of, most apothecars have a homemade salves that they can make if you need it, or I don't know. They most of them, they have little niche things you can also buy in online stores. Um, Dietarians are also great for supplements if you want to one. You just make one call. You don't need to commit to 6 months of support, but it's already 60 minutes. There are lots of questions answered. And if you get lost, if you like reading books, that's awesome. And or now you can always still ask the AI too. They are a great guide, but I think there is still the human that is counterintuitive, and that gets you the best. If you really need good um, motivation, um, yeah, a little guide on your health path is probably best to book. And also people have their own niche information that does not go into the AI, for example. Like I will know a little bit more about some things that I like. For example, I'm all into oils at the moment, so I'm quite knowledgeable, and I'm learning about herbs from different decades already. So I have a little bit of other knowledge than the AI would share, because I've just read that much. I have this lots of expertise currently because I'm interested. I love collecting. I'm interested in also spiritual healing, like, and then this more old knowledge and combined with the herbs that also have an impact from their spirit sometimes. If you work with energy and like aura and all of that, you can always also use sand as well as connect to plant spirit. That's not only Native Americans that do that, it's also not far from naturopathic paths. So I'm just interested. I'm not 100% sure if this is what I resonate with, but it is definitely calling me. I think it's interesting, but I'm mostly about smell, for example. So I will, like, if you ask me about one oil, I will definitely mostly talk about aromatherapy effects and then guide you to your best diffuser that I think you should buy. But like the AI, they would probably just give you a little overview about what most people like to know about it. And yeah, that's why I think it's great to ask experts on things. So and yeah, that's definitely also do with sound bath, because I'm not so knowledgeable about sound bath. But if you want to learn more about sound bath, I will like give you another IG handle, because for me sound bath wants to be experienced and heard, and for me it's also brain work because it's very balancing and calming. And that's what I will like say for a client. I will probably not advertise sound bath very much because I think people know that because YouTube music is so popular. But other people, they are super knowledgeable about statistics and history about sound bath. But I'm more about practical and why to invest the time, because that's what I needed to go through before I started making more sound bath. Was like, why do I need to constantly do that? And then it was, it is very calming. The brain waves is good, and also a little bit recording for social media that helped me. And like, yeah, I'm more about practicality personally. Also with the Reiki, I don't keep it as future goals. I'm not keeping it as the only way that I'm existing, but it is a great hobby, a great tool that I'm deeply appreciating, and I love to have it in my everyday life. I don't love to not include it into my day, just like with the yoga. And then there are other tools and practices that I've already learned, like sound bath. That is just something that I'm doing. Like, I'm not so much into the sound healing philosophy, because for me it is just purely the music, the sound, and the non-expectation, because it's really it does not take an energy master for a sound bath to be impactful, does it? Like just putting on the earphones, listening to calming piano, like I don't know, but it does shift for me. 20 minutes, the day might be saved. And I don't need proof. That's why I'm not, and I don't think people would ever say that sound bath is not calming and balancing, except if they might not like the music. So I'm not so, I don't read so much into the Reiki as well as the sound bath. I'm more interested in little elixirs and into the oils because they are for me a little bit more to understand because their recipes, their traditions, there's a long history of people how they use it and how they use it nowadays, so I can find my favorite way to work with the oils. Never, no, never. I'm never getting bored of doing that. Like I don't need any reason to make an extraction oils, to put on my diffuser, or to not buy an oil about a book about oils that is a little bit like a distillation, a book about distillation. I will always want that, but I feel a little bit bored with most Reiki books because they are so personal and there's not much to understand about the fact that you keep your energy high. Like Reiki energy is like universal love, universal life force energy frequency. So you keep yourself aligned to with your daily practices, and then you try to do that and align that for your client as well. Like there is not much to understand or to prove about it because it's not science proof. It's not. There are people who might not resonate. You might be very depressed and it's not what you need right now. Maybe you kind of need a warm bath better. And I'm going to tell you, if I feel like it could not really help you, but like, and you can also say Reiki is not working and also you're not resonating with, because for people that's true. And there are people who will never want to meditate, and I will never push people who don't want to meditate. But for example, you can find rest in a bath in nature while you're swimming, or you go on a long hike that can be bringing you rest. So you don't need a spiritual meditative point for yourself to feel grounded and connected to nature. For example, that's why I'm meditating. I feel more grounded and connected to the here and now and to the nature that surrounds me. So there are many ways how you can do that if you want to do that. Or if you're a very stressed person, you might not want to meditate. You might maybe want to work with affirmations that help you see a little bit more clearly, and what you take in as information goes through your brain. Like it is sometimes very overcrowded, especially have you mixed signals. That's something that is not very calming. So I always have music on. It has a positive note. I'm never listening to brutal movies or music. I would not say every day has to be perfect. Like sometimes I love a sad movie, and also a few very sad songs that I like that touch my heart. And I also don't mind talking about grief and doing practices around grief. Um, because it is also authentic. I don't mind that. That's not for me mixed signal. Like balance, calm, harmony, grief, sorrow. That's over. But like I will not get like hype. Like I used to listen to metal a lot when I was an angry teen, but I don't listen to that anymore. Not because I don't like the song, but because I'm not angry anymore. I love a more balancing music surrounding me, inspirational music surrounding me. I love everything that grounds me into the seasons for music. Like I make playlists, for example, for summer, for spring, because I have different moods and I love just having the inspiration going. And yeah, that is just. Uh, I'm also like that with the radio. If it just gets negative, if it's just very stupid, I stopped listening. I'm never listening to radio. Except for maybe in the car. Um, but yeah. And I don't like the constant advertisements. Like I have Spotify now without ads, and I like it much better because I'm in this little home bubble. Because in my home, I listen to my own music. When I'm outside, for example, I'm more listening to pop music because I want the music to feel like home in my home, for example. And I have oils that are from my home. Like I have orange oil, that's my room. I've always had that in my home. So I will probably not do that much orange oil in a car or as a perfume, for example. But there are other scents like rose, for example, has been long my daily face cream, and this is a scent that I put on, and it's not starting from, it's just a favorite scent that I like. And now I'm using it a little bit for femininity and flow and little motivation sometimes to give the day a chance if I don't feel great, because it's a very favorite smell for me. And it's said to have the highest frequent smell other than spruce. There's just one white spruce or something that might have one higher AI said. So I'm just using it for better alignment again, but not for my home, for example. So I a little bit train my brain to know this is safe, this is my house, this is me time, relaxing. So I love to switch around a little bit like that. So I might do a playlist in a car with music for driving, but it will not be something that I listen to in my house a lot, for example. So yeah, you can also do that with party music. That's also not the music that you might start your day with probably, because it's a little bit of vacation music. Like yeah, just a little bit different moods, associations, and preferences. And I personally keep a more harmony like home and more grounded home, because that's my favorite way of existing. It's like I'm a super harmonious person, and I did grow up in a family that was constantly fighting. And I will be definitely striving for more harmonious partnership, harmonious friendship, harmonious movies, and a little bit more balanced lifestyle, because that's what I always wanted and I've never got. So I'm not stopping giving that to me, because it did because of my childhood become a major favorite in my life. Like a little harmony. I love having harmony in my home. Like it should feel cozy, harmonious, balanced. Like I'm not making it a very artful room on purpose, because I don't want to be overstimulated by somebody else's inspiration, even though I will have corners in my home with inspiration also from other people. So for me, I also mostly, I don't have, I'm not overcrowding my home, for example, with things that I need, like books or like necessities, or I don't know. My house is mostly just a few things and then lots of decoration, so it's not empty, because I personally don't feel harmonious with lots of white walls. Like I love a little bit of decoration, nature connection. I will never have a plain white room. There will always be one or the other picture, or like currently I love light lamps. I find that very inspirational and balancing to the little light going. And yeah, I'm also somebody who has candlelight on, not just for me harmonious. So I could have more other preferences around my house, and I've not known it. In my first flat, I've just started buying what I thought looks pretty, and it ended up like changing definitely over time. And what I now have as a craving too is a little bit of a dedicated altar full place for meditation. And because of my spiritual practice, it is a part of my everyday life, and it will be part of my home. No matter how much space I have, there will always be a little corner, a little picture, a little rose or whatever to remind me and ground me into meditation space. So, because it's just a huge part of my daily, everyday life. And so that's how the mind is not really 100% controlling your liking or my liking or anybody's liking, because it's most important to check in with yourself how you feeling about it. And then sometimes you do that counterintuitive, like counterintuitively edit, get rid of most of the darker furnitures, because I found grief too much in my life and was depressing. So I did not want black in my clothing anymore. I did start wearing more colors for color therapy courses, a little bit adjustment and positivity. And yeah, even though I don't mind black colors, but I personally love white furniture, and I love beige. So I think that's a more balanced look. And also I'm not always into like that colorful colors. It's very rare that I put those into my rooms. I love like more pastel colors. Except then this red, for example, because maybe that's my grandma's um living room color, and I might always have liked it. I've not really realized it. Um, but it does immediately probably remind me of my grandma and my grandpa playing with me for hours, and I felt, I don't know, warm, and that's probably also why psychologically I resonate in a good homey way with that color, even though there are great other colors that I love. But if I buy it and have this maybe cool green furniture in my house, I might feel like that's not really for me. Like, it looks great with the design, but it's not what I want. And I will probably just rearrange it or put a little tablecloth on it or whatever. I'm probably not throw it away. And you don't need to give it to other people because they don't use anything. Secondhand people really want to buy what they specifically want, and they will not even want it gifted. Like, you can forget about it, but you can always give it to secondhand or furniture, like the stores, with or without money. You can ask. Because the people who like secondhand, or they like a little bargain, or they might recolor, refurbish the things. There's also a hobby people have. Um, that's how you could find those tribe. Um, that's what I think. And yeah, this has been a long talk now. And I've not even drunk my coffee yet. Oh, but yeah, that's a little bit of my philosophy about routines overall. Sometimes life needs lots of discipline, and I see, for me personally, I see this tank of discipline filled, and then it can get empty and needs to be filled again. And for me, I need to understand why. That's why I love to get knowledge about healthy things, because it does naturally motivate me. And other people, they might have other reasons why. Sometimes it is indeed competition that fills their discipline, but it's not maybe true about spiritual path, because it does specifically teach not to compete around spiritual goals. For example, like, that does sound rude to people who are maybe sporty and love to call themselves very perfect yogis, but an actual guru, they would just call them out onto their ego about it. And they really tell them that it's about the practice and not about achieving anything. That is yoga and not Pilates, for example. That's also why their Pilates is quite well known and liked, because it is a little bit more about achieving, about sport, about pushing yourself. And it's also very impactful for the muscles, like very athletic bodies that you can have with this, for example. So you could call yourself, for example, a great Pilates sports person, but with yogi, that would be already a little bit untrue because of the philosophy behind it. So I will be celebrating 5 years of Reiki, not because I use it so much and every day, not because I'm passionate about it, and not because I really want to be sharing it. Finally, it is, yeah, I'm very excited. It has shifted lots in my life, and I love the routines, even though I'm sometimes blocked about sitting down actually, but I still like them. And so I'm not celebrating myself this July for 5 years of Reiki because I'm the best person, the best student. I am celebrating it because of the successes that I could have in my life on mind, body, spirit levels. Like it did really help me on so many shifts and changes because it did brought me out of the constant searching and analyzing and brain very brain-centered person, very thought-filled person, very investigative, analytical person that I am, did bring me into more trust and centeredness. And that's what I will be celebrating this July, um, because I'm grateful. Because I'm grateful, and then I will have a little prayer. I'm a little altar probably, giving me the endurance and resistance to the blocks for the next 5 years. So just little positive affirmation, a little bit manifestation momentum to keep the breaks, because it really sometimes I didn't want to. But then I did sit down, I did sit in meditation, I did use the energy work, I did listen to new YouTube inputs, or did learn about it in a book or all. And yeah, and I feel great that I've done it without pushing me. I've not been pushy about it. I've been really intentional with my why I want to Reiki. I really understood quite early on this Reiki path that it did bring me out of the constant analytical process and more into experience, and that did help me with more deep work with the embodiment practices that I like so much, and they have very big variety, and it's not only for spiritual people too. So for example, embodiment practices, they don't have this ego eradicator like the yogi or even the Reiki path teaches. So like embodiment, that's also you could use that for anything, not just spiritual. That's why I like it, because I don't just want to meet with people who I don't just want to meet with people who strive for a more spiritual life, because I think that's ungrounded and sometimes it's even boring. If people are only about meditation, like what are they living? Like what are their hobbies? Like they must be very boring. That's so me. That is a little bit of the nasty thought that will be hiding in a little post and a little weird look. And I feel better around people who use that to find calm, and like mindfulness is why I prefer um, Reiki, because it brings me, with the practice, it brings me in a more mindful state. I'm not doing really lots of deep mindful focused meditation, because that's already for me brain, and Reiki is energy work, so that's super specific, but that's how people are. So yeah, um, and that's why I love the embodiment practice too, because I don't need to sit there with a deep spiritual thought, or also not dedicating this altar style meditation. Is more devotional and focused and specific. And like mindfulness practice can be movement, can be breath work, can also be meditation, shavasana. Like all of that is embodiment work, and it mostly is there to help you work with your body around a calm state, getting to know your body. Even Tantra is part of embodiment work, and all of this focus specifically on embodiment did really help me understand and deepen my yoga practice, because they are very knowledgeable and science backed. That's exactly what somebody like me will be loving. I love science. I love body work, like just mindful dancing. Like I'm not so much about the art of dancing, but I love the flow and feeling myself and like expressing with this dance that is art, but in mindful and grounded sense. And yeah, so I'm not very strict around spirituality. I'm just a little bit sometimes too critical. And I don't have the intention to share it with my students, because I don't think it's their problem that I'm a very critical person, and I will stay true to, for example, what most Reiki teachers do. They affirm you um, into more balance in a way. That's what I find. Most people that do Reiki a lot, they have very balanced lifestyles, wellness, nature. Also for me, my life got more colorful, grounded. My inner child is very happy with the practice too, because I get lots of creativity from there. I'm crafting more Reiki inspired things. So that's how it is very definitely grounding me back into the earth again. And um I don't think my inner critic is the best side of me, and I'm not using it, to push that onto somebody else. I've really reflected a lot to not do that in relationship. And that's the same is true for a future client or group, or even people on my video. So I'm not always in the Reiki talking mode. So I have a different style of filming, even if I'm not doing it for Reiki courses. That's what I've seen. With sound bath, I'm sitting there, very different mood. But if I talk about Reiki, it's not about cleansing or concentration, because I'm very concentrated about sound when I'm filming. I really want to catch the notes and bring a little harmony, and but with the Reiki, I'm very passionate. My heart is filling up with that practices, and I love my little artful Reiki motivated little clay art. And I also think that your Reiki and yoga balance great, because the yoga is also physically strength, and the mindset of the Reiki and the yoga, they don't interfere at all. They don't interfere at all. And that was important for me on choosing my courses for these little spiritual technique courses and all, and for books too, is that I will never discuss about a yogic lifestyle, because I've worked so much around overcoming blocks on the mat and finding alignment, not only in my spine, and also watching my ego and all these little traits and things and toxic whatever that one a woman can be. And like catching it early, and that is also part of shadow work. It's a very easy form of shadow work. There are more in-depth things that people can do. Also, not something that I am passionate about, but I am interested in, but I don't want to do it every day, because shadow is deep for me and I hate it. I hate shadow work so much. It's just like cleaning my dishes. Like, it's just dirty laundry. but I can control my shadow. I don't hate it, and it's not useful. That's that I got from coaching. So um, yeah, it's very specific. With the Reiki, I have very specific, not too personal opinion about it, and just vibing. And I'm liking it, and it has really integrated into my life easily, and it brought me so much more joy and improvements on many levels. And that is why I want to share the Reiki, because I hope the same for you, and holding the flame, the torch, the being the motivator for your also highest, most aligned, blessed life that you want to lead. And that is typical Reiki, intentional work that really goes well with the yoga alignment, a little bit more over the ego, higher self thought process, crown chakra strengthening. Um, Even though it's not the yogic path, it's a little bit different, but it's not crossing my yogic path at all. It's, yeah, the yoga in me really loves the improvement that I'm seeing personally for my own well-being, because I'm so inspired with this kind of energy work, because I've known it forever. It's not new to me, and I am grateful that it did find me on my path. And also I love using the music, the sound bath, to the little artful social media things that I make. It's so enjoyable. It did bring me more into the everyday clay. So that's a little bit what I think with this kind of path that I'm sharing and that I've chosen to share, from all of those many techniques, options, philosophies, paths, even decades, like yogic principles. They change from teacher to teacher, guru to guru, and also decade to decade, century. I'm not even starting, but that's really old. You're not gonna probably find that old texts. Um, it just shows my most resonant lifestyle with these spiritual practices. And that is what I think makes it that easy includable into everyday life. It's the your own motivation and joy around it. And that is, I think, is very unique for people. That's why I think about making lots of workbooks too, that cover lots of topics. Even though I personally mainly am focused about the Reiki energy work and also sound bath mostly, I still know lots of other things, and I did other courses that I do also cover, because I see myself more as a guide on your own spiritual way of doing things. Not so much want to tell you that this one thing of all of those options is the only one that will be great for you. Or, like, yeah, if you love Reiki, I love it. But if you don't, I will never be upset or anything. Like, I don't mind it. And but I'm trying to use spiritual practices that go well together, because sometimes there are different teachings, like psychedelic breathwork is something that I did that I think is interesting, but it's not very yogic for me because it's not very embodied. And yeah, it's counterindicative, because they also give lots of great health, um, uh, like they did tell you that it will affect your life very deeply and profoundly also on health level, and still it's just breath work. And I don't think that that's enough, and does not have this holistic, wholesome teaching with the psychedelic breathwork, especially. It's different for other breathwork, for example. So I will never probably lead a psychedelic breath cycle, even though I could do breath work practitioner to do it properly, to do what other people do, and but I can always lead you on a little room breath, like, because that is yoga and part of my training. But I will not. That is, yeah, one. And I'm also not also probably not gonna. I think about giving little workbooks and tools about steaming, because I know yoni steaming is a thing, people like that, but there are many other ways how you can steam, and that is actually typical knowledge in my country. This is a book about it. It's called the Kneippkur, and this is originally from this priest from end of 1900, and like, yeah, anyways, how to steam. And I will rather let you steam or have a little wash, a little bath, sitting bath or whatever, than pull you into an ice bath. Like, I'm the softie of all the guides on your spiritual embodied lifestyle. I'm the softie. Guys, I need to leave. Thank you for listening. Bye bye, see you again.